is it that we have such great memory, such great recollection of all of the bad things that's happened? Whether we've been lied to or cheated on or stolen from, misled, mistreated, we can remember all of those details. So much so that we start creating these barriers, these boundaries around us. Many times not even realizing that we've created them. And it doesn't even have to be from our own experiences. It can be something that's been passed down, some stories that we were told while we were younger. We have unintentionally created these boundaries, these barriers, all built on pain and past experiences. What is it that's blocking your next blessing? What are you still believing that is blocking you from your next blessing? What do you believe that is occurring? Reminders of what's happened in the past or those stories that were told to you. I just had that experience. I just had that reflection of something that I'm currently going through. And I just realized, like, why is it so hard for me to trust this person? Why is it so hard for me to believe what they're saying? Why am I holding my information so close and so tight? That's what I want to speak to you all about today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Community Solutions Podcast, the only podcast inspiring humanity and leadership within and beyond the workplace. So let's talk about it. What barriers have you built? I'll tell you what's currently going on over here on this side. So I met someone. I just randomly met someone. We exchanged information, and this is on a business level, right? We spoke for a little bit. We exchanged information, and then I was offered an opportunity. And it's like, this is too good to be true. This is a setup. But everything they've said, they have proven. Everything they said they could do, they have proven. They have shown. They have showed up. And in spite of that, I still have questions. I still have questions. What if this moment fades away because I didn't take action? What is it that has approached you? What is it that you have came in contact with that has been a blessing, that has proven to be so, and you still have questions about it? You know, on these podcasts and on TV and everywhere you're listening, everyone just swears they have the answer. Their way is the only right way. But that's not how it occurs here. Today, I'm asking you, how do you resolve it? How would you go forward? What is your response? What is your recommendation? I want to hear your perspective. How does one get over past hurt or past experiences? How do they not let the past dictate the future? Yes, we have to be mindful. We have to be aware of what's happened in the past, right? So we don't fall through those same cracks, make those same bad decisions. But how do we get past that? I want to know from you. What happens is we get this feeling, this bad, sour taste in our mouth, because we're instantly reminded of something in the past. and then we move away from it, we detour. But are we moving away from our destiny? Are we moving away from our goals? Are we moving away from our purpose? At what point do we realize that I need to break this barrier? I need to believe. I need to have faith. At what point? What does it take? What is it that has made you say, oh no, I know what this is. This feels familiar. And when I felt this, mind you, this all occurred within the last hour or two. I'm just thinking about it because as I'm reflecting on what's happening to me and how I am second guessing, I'm remembering the exact moment when I was upset at someone else for doing the same thing. Now I can understand, okay, this is what happened. This is where they were at in their life. Long story short, I went to go help a friend. And in doing so, she was going out and she had just moved out of state. Just moved out of state. She had children with her and she was going out on a date. And I told her, I said, okay, we'll just, send me a picture of the car, send me a picture of him, just in case anything happens, because you don't know anyone else out here. You're out here, you have these children. We don't know him from Adam. Send me a picture. And she was like, oh no, I don't get down like that. And I was offended. I was offended on multiple levels, multiple fronts. Because why would you think anything other than my true intentions? What have I done to make you think anything else about me? Why would you think I don't have your best interest and your family's best interest at heart? What have I ever done? Right? So I'm offended on many levels. I don't even have that kind of record. But as I am evaluating what I'm going through now, I'm looking at her like, okay, you're treating me like someone else has treated you. What I said reminded her of something in her past. It took her back there. And that was her blockade. That was her no. That was her caution, red light. I'm not going through this again. And now I'm seeing, okay, I'm like, oh, she doesn't value me like I value her. That's what I'm thinking at that moment. All this time, you've never really trusted me. All this time, you've never really valued me. All this time, you've never really thought about all that I've brought to the table or how I've treated you and your family. But now, as I look at it, yes, I have that same feeling, but now I see she couldn't help it. It's based off her experiences. But how do we break out of that? And that's what I'm thinking to myself. Depending on how you were raised, right? We're in this internet age right now. Depending on how you were raised, you knew not to give out your information. You knew not to, answer the phone at nighttime. We are so easily now just giving out our social security number when that was just a no-no, but everything is requesting it now. If you don't provide it, you don't get access now. So things are changing, but we can get so caught up and so stagnant and not moving along with the times, moving along with new experiences, that we get stuck. We get stuck out of fear, stuck in fear, I should say. We get stuck in self-preservation. We get stuck in precaution. But my question to you is, how do we get unstuck? I was just telling my daughter today how, and I Googled, I was telling her about the internet, and she was like, oh, they didn't have internet when you were coming up. I was like, maybe like in 6th, 7th grade, maybe when I knew about it. And I was explaining to her about AOL and how the dial up would sound. And so what I did was I went online to Google and I Googled AOL sound dial up, and it came up, and she's just like, oh my gosh. And I said, yes. I said, and at this point, because this conversation came up because I'm telling her about AI, and she's so independent, and she doesn't think it's a good thing, and how it can be used for evil. And she's right. It can be used for evil. It is being used for evil in some instances. And so I'm explaining to her about the internet and how so many people were fearful of it and didn't want to use it and did not want to put their information in it. Some people, you may even have family members who have Facebook accounts and social media accounts just to keep up with the family and pictures and to see pictures of everyone else, but they don't have their face picture on there because they're just not with it. They didn't really start using the internet like they should have to get a good handle of it. Learning how to attach files and send emails. They were so scared of it. But now that older generation, many of them are struggling because everything that's required of them now requires the internet, requires you to have knowledge of the internet and apps. Checking your social security statements or your retirement benefits requires you to get online, to sign into your account, your emails. Everyone wants to know if you have what your email address is. Looking for a job. You walk in somewhere wanting to apply, you give them your resume and they say, no, you can apply online. So everyone that did not try to learn or stay up to date is falling behind. And so I'm explaining to my daughter that this has already happened. So this is why you have to get used to AI. It's already here. It's not going anywhere. And if you think the information that's being put in there is using for evil, and I heard this from a mentor of mine, she said, put good information in there so that it has that information in there as well. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? And so I'm telling her, you can't get caught up in just the bad side. We can't be so fearful of what we have that we're afraid to open up our hands to grab what's ours. And that's what I'm going through right now. Not saying that I'm fearful, but second guessing maybe. Let me know if you can relate to this. What are you holding on to? What have you said no to? What have you avoided? What relationship have you avoided? What job did you not take? What systems are you not using? All decisions cannot be made based on our past experiences. Times have changed. People have changed. Situations have changed. I was just doing something the other day, and where I was telling you that there's a generation that doesn't want to put their face on anything, put their face on Facebook. Now they're asking you to scan your ID on the internet. They want the front picture. They want the back picture. I'm hesitant every time I see that. And then, of course, we have these security breaches of our information. But what? We still have to do it. If we're trying to meet that deadline, if we're trying to get access to something, if we're trying to get the benefits that are due to us, this is the new way. We can no longer be bitter. We can no longer apply, again, our old experiences, our past experiences to our present decisions. Not all of them. And I want to know from you today, how do we go about that? I'm not going to get on here and say that I know the answer. I want to hear your perspective. That's what I'm going to start doing going forward, is sharing my experiences, sharing my perspective, and asking you for yours. Collectively, we can change the world. Collectively, we can positively impact humanity and leadership. And this goes to jobs as well. How many managers out there avoid certain resumes, avoid interacting with certain people because of a past experience? How many managers out there, and I know that there are telephone policies, there are phone policies, right, where you can't have your phone. And there are managers out there that have had employees who are constantly on their phone, not working, delayed assignments, delayed tasks and responsibilities, maybe even interrupting their fellow coworkers. And they had to deal with that employee accordingly. But here comes another employee who they see with the phone, but is not abusing it like the other person. But now they are being treated just like that other person when really they have an emergency. Their daughter missed the bus on the way home, so now she needs a ride. Or their parent failed. Just because that manager sees the phone, you can't think that they are that other person who was abusing the phone privileges. Do you see what I'm saying? That's just another example, but I'm saying all this to say that whether it's in the workplace or in our living room or our break room, we have to stop judging. We have to stop applying old things to new beginnings. And we have to leave room for grace. I would say one thing that is a solution or part of a solution is, if you are questioning someone's motives, think about everything else they've done. Yes, this one instance feels like a past experience, but what about the other actions? Are there more positives than just this one thing? Is it just this one thing, or is it everything that's reminding you of the past? What else is there? I want to hear from you. This is something that, again, I was thinking about today. I am Kim the SME, and so I am speaking about my experiences. SME, speaker of my experiences. And so I wanted to get on here today to tell you, hey, I am going through something. I have decisions to be made. And I am on the fence of, should I do this? Should I not? Should I postpone it? Should I fill it out further and then end up missing the mark? What is it that you're contemplating? Is it reasonable? Is it valid? Is it based off of past painful experiences? And how will you overcome it? That is my question for you today. I am your host, Kim the SME. As always, I am only speaking from my experiences. I hope that you leave a comment. Let me know what you've experienced, what you think the answer or your perspective. I'll put it like that. What is your perspective of the question posed today? You all be blessed. Until next time, bye-bye.